Ladies and gentlemen, YouTube has just rolled out a new monetization update that is effective July 15th that is targeting repetitious and inauthentic content. What does this mean for content creators? This is what we're going to be talking about in this video. Does it mean that faceless channels are going to be affected? Does it mean that artificial intelligence content is going to be impacted? Well, I have brought my friend Brian G. Johnson onto this video. We're going to have an open discussion about it. We're going to read some tweets. We're even going to read what YouTube has come out and said after all of the uproar on X and on social media. Let's get into it. Before I pull up the tweets, I want to introduce my friend Brian G. Johnson. He has been on YouTube for the last 9 years. He is a content creator in the I'm going to teach you how to be a YouTuber space. I'm going to teach you how to make money with YouTube and grow YouTube channel space. So we're in very similar spaces. Brian, welcome to the video, and I'm grateful to have you here, grateful for your time. If you can just give us 30 seconds, tell us about who you are, what you do, that'd be awesome.
Scott, it is great to be here. Excited to talk YouTube as always. And I've been a content creator, online marketer for a really long time. I eat and breathe this stuff. It's good to be back. Took a couple of years off, strong, back at it, hitting the content, uploading, and just staying current with all the changes. This is a good topic. We need to cover it.
Yes, sir. Oh, I'm excited to get into it. We've got some juicy stuff here. Even I'm going to pull up some tweets from people who are reacting. It is one of those sky is falling type of subjects right now. And so let's roll with it. Okay, so this first one is from an X creator, Wexillo. They say new update on YouTube Shorts monetization. Let me just correct that. It's YouTube monetization general, not just Shorts. All commentary channels might be demonetized without big transformative content. Movie recaps might or might not get demonetized or be way harder to monetize. If you have a channel where you won a monetization appeal, you might get demonetized now. Not confirmed. That's just hearsay, speculation. Number 4, not all reused content will get demonetized because half of YouTube would be gone. Poof, like magic. But YouTube clarified that content that wasn't monetizable before will now have almost 0% chance to get monetized even after appeal. Let me just read the clip from YouTube here. This is a snapshot. July 2025 updates to YouTube Partner Program monetization policies. In order to monetize as part of the YouTube Partner Program, YouTube has always required creators to upload original and authentic content. On July 15th, 2025, YouTube is updating our guidelines to better identify mass-produced and repetitious content. This update better reflects what inauthentic content looks like today. All right, what's your take on this?
Scott, I think there are a couple points that are really important. And to be fair, YouTube makes mistakes all the time. I think what's really interesting here is this person is talking about and really bullet pointing all these things, and it's the sky is falling. And to be fair, unoriginal content based on other people's IP, that original content, and using it in a way that really adds no value, it doesn't change anything. There's no real transformation. That's a problem. And it's always been a problem. In fact, back in the day, years ago, I actually had my channel demonetized for about 6 days. It was nerve-wracking, and YouTube, they messed up. I was using a lot of B-roll from story blocks on top of my talking head video to add more engagement and just to tell a better story. And in the end, I think the robots saw that and just figured, oh, this is just, reused content, which wasn't the case. And they were great. They apologized and everything was reinstated. So to be fair, I understand why people get worried, but I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that for the vast majority of YouTubers, this won't really impact them at all. And I think it's really easy to overreact. And I've seen it year after year. And to be fair, there's been some really tough updates, but I don't think this is one of them for most.
That's a good take. Yeah, that's a good take. Artificial intelligence, I feel like, is kind of a double-edged sword. And don't get me started on story blocks. I got my own experience with those guys. But it's for another video for another day. But AI is a double-edged sword. With like VO3 right now, there's such a unique opportunity to inject incredible scenes and incredible B-roll into your content that you can't find on story blocks, like things that are like physically impossible. And create a better story with content like that. But then there's also this desire to easy button your way to success. And
Right.
there are content creators who are literally using AI to create 400 pieces, 500 pieces of content in one big chunk and then mass upload those with artificial intelligence. So you can get 500 pieces of content out in the course of, 30 minutes. And now, you have way better odds of something going viral, something catching wind. And it's just a very simple way to rack in ad revenue. So I think YouTube's kind of like, they're kind of caught between this rock and this hard place because they want creators to enhance their videos and not abuse it. But where is that line,
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I've had the same thoughts and ideas on where we're heading with the ability to use AI to tell better stories, to create a visual experience. Like I remember thinking it would be so cool, like having some YouTubers under a tree, and then like you're the perspective of a little bee like flying around through flowers, and like, that's my crazy YouTuber brain, like just going total Pixar. And that is possible. And I remember like probably 2 years ago now, I dug into that and created lots of AI B-roll, and it was pretty fun, and it looked so dated so fast. I think that's kind of the catch 22. But what's interesting now with the latest tech, the V3, is it looks pretty darn good. And the quality is just, I think it's just kind of getting there now where things can go viral. And I've been seeing some fun clips myself. It's just when we get into these creators that are looking for that button to smash, and so many creators that don't have any idea. And that is where, for me personally, and the people that I work with, like it's all about like your watchability, which for me is coming up with unique ideas and presenting the information in unique ideas in a unique way, rather, and really pulling all of these things together. So what you create and publish, it can really only be found on your channel. And so many videos and so many AI channels, you don't really have that experience. I can't tell you the comments I get, and it's like, oh, I put in so much time and effort into making this. And it's like, I just saw one the other day, Scott. It was like this avatar from 1997, and barely the lips are moving. And like, it was all free AI
Yeah.
and low quality. And there was nothing that was unique or different. And there's probably millions of these low quality videos on YouTube. And that's what YouTube, like you said, they're trying to really eliminate that. But I don't think most YouTubers need to be up in arms or overly worried.
Well, that's good to know. At the end of this video, I'm gonna give you a list of different types of content, and then I want to hear whether you think they're safe or not. So we'll keep that in mind as we're moving forward. Okay, let me pull up this article. This is from Dexerto. I don't know how to say the name of the publication. Title of this article from July 2nd: YouTube cracks down on unoriginal monetized content with improved detection. YouTube has announced a new update to a policy that further improves the detection of inauthentic content posted to the platform and demonetizes creators as a result. Google-owned YouTube is taking more steps to ensure that videos posted to the site are original and will be more accurately identifying mass-produced content as part of a new policy update. Creators on YouTube can make a killing with the platform's monetization tools through the YouTube Partner Program, but in the age of AI, some users have been generating content that doesn't meet the criteria. Now the site will be bolstering its efforts in cracking down on certain content deemed unoriginal. YouTube takes aim at inauthentic videos. YouTube expects those making money to produce content that is original and authentic and not repetitive. Your content should be made for the enjoyment or education of viewers rather than for the sole purpose of getting views, the site's current monetization policy states. The platform says that reviewers can't view every video and instead primarily focus on channel's main theme, most viewed videos, newest videos, and the biggest proportion of watch time. Come July 15th, however, YouTube will be updating its guidelines and will be more strict with its approach to unoriginal content. In order to monetize as part of the YPP program, the YPP, YouTube has always required creators to upload original and authentic content, the platform says in a new statement. YouTube is updating guidelines to better identify mass-produced and repetitious content. The update better reflects what inauthentic content looks like today. So one thing that I'll say that YouTube rarely gets right without having kind of some collateral damage is when they make mass changes where they target specific sets or groups of content styles. For example, I built a massive channel in the family space. So when I say massive, relative, 350,000 subscribers, but we have hundreds of millions of views on that channel. And we were full-time YouTubers from 2017 to 2019. That was our livelihood. In that period of time, right around 2017, 2018, YouTube started demonetizing family content, or they started doing that not advertiser friendly yellow symbol. Remember that?
Oh,
Yeah.
that was one that hurt
Yeah,
you
that
guys
one.
especially.
It resulted in about an 80% decrease in revenue for us over the course of about a month span. So we were making six figures on YouTube, and it decreased it to a couple $1,000s a month, which was a huge blow to us. We
Wow.
weren't doing anything wrong. They had
Sure.
automated processes that said, oh, this is a family video. This is in the transcript. They're saying these things. It must mean we're putting two and two together. This is not advertiser friendly. All of our views for the first 24, 48 hours were not monetizable, which was really impactful for us because most of your views come in the first 24 to 48 hours when you're in the family space. How
Yeah.
do you think that this is going to impact innocent people who might be false flagged?
Really great question, and I kind of hate to say it, but also there's some good news at the end, and that is, from what I've seen over the years, people will continue to get flagged who shouldn't. I just mentioned this is our second go around on this interview, and the first time I mentioned how I was actually demonetized and lost everything, and things just fell apart because of reused content, but it's based on videos where I was spending a lot of time on editing and talking head segments and sound effects. And I got video footage from Storyblocks. And because of that, the automated system just figured, oh, this is another trashy video. And all of a sudden, my channel was demonetized. Now, imagine a guy who's teaching YouTube and his channel gets demonetized. And I've seen this happen again and again. And what's really interesting for me, Scott, and I'd love your take on this, is there are a few things. Number one, YouTube has mentioned, and what I've heard is mass produced content. I think that's really important because that's the target. If you're not mass producing content, I think right there, to a certain degree, you're going to be okay. Number two is that there's this idea of reused content and like, oh my God, don't ever do that. And I don't think that's the case either. There's a reason fair use is a thing because it can allow people to create a better viewing experience, a better educational experience, entertainment experience by simply incorporating and pulling an example from. And I've done this many times and I haven't had problems where I'm borrowing a few clips from Casey Neistat or other YouTubers. And I remember one in particular where I really broke down what charisma is in a unique way. It wasn't about like George Clooney, red carpet. It was about a little 15-year-old girl, quirky, weird, but it was so relatable for people going through that experience, 15-year-old girls. And I think she had so much relatability that it was charismatic for those individuals. And I never had a problem with any of those videos. And I know some people even they'll use TV shows and movies. And of course, there's a line in the sand and you don't want to cross that. And I wish I could just say this is where the line in the sand is, but it's different based on what you create, how you create, and so on.
Yeah. Fair point. I'm going to pull up some tweets here from the original Dexerto's post. I want you to hear what some of these people are worried about. And then also I'm going to read the YouTube statement here in just a second. And then we'll get your hot take on that as well. In my opinion, all AI videos should be demonetized. Thoughts on that tweet? It got 16,000 likes.
At the end of the day, there will be absolutely stunning and amazing videos that took a ridiculous amount of time, are highly creative, and wouldn't be possible without AI. what's interesting to me is it's so polarizing for a lot of people. It's like AI is evil or AI is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I think sometimes we need to take a broad look at what's really happening here. I don't see this as like all AI needs to be demonetized. In fact, I want to mention I've seen a lot of really incredible channels based on the Bible. There's this. Have you seen this channel? And it's like you can't really get a lot of good footage of Jesus. I've tried, it's just not available, but like you can make that because of the power of AI, and it's only getting better. So I think that's a really short-sighted viewpoint when it comes to let's just demonetize all of it. Come on, man.
Yeah, I don't think that there's any way that AI content is going to ever be able to be demonetized. It's only getting better. And like you said, at the end of the day, I would just fast forward to 5 years from now, 10 years from now, what is AI going to be able to create? And I think our mind's going to be blown. I think we're going to be able to throw on a pair of goggles and step into an alternate universe. And it's going to be absolutely breathtaking and mind boggling what we're able to do. I think that this is just the beginning and we're barely scratching the surface. So AI content's not going anywhere, in my opinion. All right. So this one right here by Fernothy. I know this feels like a win for the average viewer, but I have the sneaking suspicion this will be used against creators who don't deserve it. So that YouTube doesn't have to pay as much. 1,200 thumbs up. It's 1,200 hearts on this one. This kind of goes to this, like, there is this conspiratorial side of YouTube creators that are always feeling like YouTube is out to get them. Like, and you go to their, you've heard from these people too. You probably get comments like this where it's like, YouTube demonetized my channel, or YouTube is shadow banning me in my Tesla channel, and it's like, you go to their channel and they haven't uploaded a video in 6 months and you're like, well, I don't think so. You just need to upload more.
Yeah, it's kind of disappointing and it's kind of too bad. And I think sometimes, other people hop on this bandwagon and it spreads, like toxicity spreads. And I think it's too bad when small YouTubers, medium YouTubers who really haven't achieved what they're after is what I believe. It's easy to pick on YouTube and point a finger and say, well, small channels and there's favoritism. And at the end of the day, YouTube is nothing without the creators. And I know for a fact they want to do good for the creators. I see so many updates, and they've got a team now on the algorithm side that is dedicated to really surfacing videos from smaller channels. Like over the last 2 years, I'm sure you've seen it a ton where smaller channels, their videos are showing up in suggested videos and in browse on the homepage. And like, that was not a thing 5 years ago. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that it's going to happen for everybody. Like, one of the things I often like to think about is like, if you want greatness in your life, you have to start acting the part. And like, if you want 100,000 YouTube subscribers, you're less than 1%. That's an elite group of YouTubers. And those people have dedicated themselves for years, and they eat, sleep, and breathe YouTube. And unfortunately, a lot of times these people are not that. And it's frustrating, honestly, because there's so much opportunity on YouTube, but you got to go after it like you're totally obsessed for a season. It doesn't mean your whole life has to be YouTube forever, but there has to be some passion and discipline and thought and effort.
I think that there's like proof in the pudding when it comes to YouTube creators, like literally anybody being able to have a successful YouTube channel. If you just pull the right levers. My lazy YouTube channel, the Scott Simpson channel, I literally press record at the end of every day. I talk about a subject. I upload with a curiosity evoking title and thumbnail, and I get some of my views. Some of my videos get thousands of views. I've been doing this for about 8 months now, and I've got almost 3,500 subscribers on the channel. Very low effort, very lazy content. And I did it with the intention of proving that you can get views, you can get subscribers, you can build a following with any type of content if you just simply provide value. And I think that that's kind of the thing that's missing in a lot of these people's eyes. I think there's a lot of people who assume that everything they touch should turn to gold, even when they've got, chocolate fingers, right? It's like it doesn't work that way. We have
Yeah.
to actually create content in a way that is received well by an audience and that has inherent value. And if you do that, anybody can be successful with YouTube.
Man, Scott, I love what you shared, and I just want to add a little to that because I remember back in the day when you launched that channel, and I'm on Facebook, and you made a few posts, and that inspired me. And I've always been one to create in two distinct kind of ways. One where it's like it's fast, it's raw, but I get to practice what's most important. If you're doing talking head videos, nothing is more important than how you come across on camera.
Yeah.
So by making a lot of videos and just talking and sharing, I'm practicing the art of like really delivering in a unique way and then really focusing on what matters the most, which is getting the click and then keeping people watching, which again, you don't need the B-roll. You don't need the editing. You don't need an AI voice. In fact, you don't need any of that. And I can get a video done in about an hour, a 10-minute video, no problem, start to finish, two camera angles. But those videos often have done very well because what matters the most is getting people to click, which you mentioned, curiosity-based titles, or a title based on fear, or a title based on desire, and then like taking it over to ChatGPT and split testing thumbnails and looking at different emotions. And like, that's how you work YouTube. But people don't do that. People like instead like, oh, I'm a creative and me too. So you have to kind of like, where is the focus? Like you don't get to have everything on YouTube unless you're Casey Neistat. And sorry, Charlie, you ain't that. Because I've seen your video and like anybody that's watching me or watching you, like we need to get real and objective about what needs to be improved. And it just goes to show you, I love your idea of just really simple, bare bones, but it's based on what is popular right now, what's trending. And it's like there's a reason why the late night TV hosts talk about the news because it's trending, it's current, it's happening right now. It makes it easy for the viewers to latch on because they're already thinking about it. Versus, I see these videos and they're like their titles are so weird. Scott, help me, brother.
I know you're preaching to the choir, man. This is something that I tell everybody. Anytime I give a content strategy, I'm like, you have to mix things that are culturally relevant into your content
Yes.
strategy if you want people to keep coming back. Because when you start a channel, nobody knows who you are. But
Right.
if you make a video on, well, I've just looked on X, the Epstein list, debacle,
Uh-oh.
and you say something that's hilarious, and then the next day you make something on flat Earth and it's hilarious, people are going to just keep coming back and watching your content because you're talking about things that are on the top of everybody's mind, as you say. So you did bring up A/B testing thumbnails. I wanted to ask you real fast before I go to YouTube statement here. Have you checked out Pixels? They're not sponsoring this video or anything like that. I'm just curious. Have you checked out Pixels, the AI thumbnail design tool?
I have. And what's so interesting, and for anybody watching, I think this is what's really important. It's not the tools. The tools are powerful, but it's really how you use them. And I played with Pixels and I did get some good thumbnails. And I was like, this looks pretty interesting. And I kind of, just like you and me and anybody in this space, we're always trying new things to see what works for, number one, for our audience, and then so we can report back. Because Pixels might not be right for me, but it might be right for other YouTubers that I work with and so on. But I love what you're doing, and I kind of want to go back and play around it a little bit. Like, tell me what your experience is. Like, you want to talk about it, please.
Yeah. Well, I'll throw a link. I'm going to throw an affiliate link down in the description below. Like we were talking about before, like I don't promote tools that I don't use, that I don't believe in. And Pixels has been insane. I'm just going to pull up. While we're here, I'll just pull up my account. And you guys, I promise you, this was not intended, but we got on the topic, and I'm loving this tool right now. So Pixels is an AI thumbnail tool, and I've been using the recreate feature, and like I pulled
Hmm.
I pulled the thumbnail from Ryan Gosling's new video, and I just put my face on it. Look at how incredible, like how close that looks to my face. It's mind-boggling to me. My hair's a little bit longer now, but
And where is the what is the seed that you're uploading for your image? Like, how is Pixels getting your image?
yeah, so you do this persona. So you set up a persona,
Okay.
and I have the Scott persona, and basically you upload around 15 to 20 of your photos of you looking in different angles and different lighting, so that way it can measure your face and see the contours of your natural looking face, and
Yeah.
then it basically just builds a replica. And I've used ChatGPT in similar ways, and it gets nowhere even close to this accurate.
Yeah.
And the thing that I've been really liking about it is I can do, I'm did that for Hermosi. I'm doing these recreate. So I use it specifically for the recreate feature. And
Yeah.
what basically what you do is you you upload a link from a YouTube video that you like, and then you just hit recreate, add your persona, then you select the face that you want to swap out, and it swaps it out. This was a Dan Martell video, and I mean, it is spot on.
You know what's cool, dude, is about 6 or 8 months ago, I used another website that was much more challenging, not newbie friendly, but the process is the same. And I know that the engine they're using, the AI engine,
Yeah.
is based on what you're talking about. And I went and I got my high end $5,000 Sony 50 megapixel camera and took really detailed headshots. So I made sure there was a lot of detail, and I was really blown away by some of the thumbnails I could create using this other platform. But it was tedious, and it was like a lot of steps, and for most people it was a little too much. But this looks really interesting, and I'm going to have to go back and kind of play around and just revisit, because like for me this is like how you could use this. I think a lot of people just think it's in my niche, that's the thumbnail, that's the video, I'm going to grab it. But like, I think there's so many ways to go beyond that, where you can use, you're still heavily borrowing, I guess is borrowing, but I think you can do it in a way where a lot of people might not know. I don't know. It's such a can of worms. You know, my audience, I think a lot of them are leery. They're older. They're over 40. They're over 50. But for me personally, the way I think about it is, it's kind of no. It's my responsibility to get the click, and if I can do that in a way that is fast and efficient, it's sustainable, and it's simple, that's really powerful. So when you talk about your lazy method, and I have my way of creating really simple talking head videos that seem to do pretty well, and now and then I get one that does extraordinarily well for where my channel's at. Like, this is really where we're heading with just one more tool that is AI. You know, we're talking about AI. I think this does fit in actually kind of nice, Scott. So talk about a perfect affiliate plug. Now I ruined it by saying that, but there it is.
No, no, it's all good, man. I mean, and the other thing is that yeah, some people were kind of critical about it the other day. They're like, well, that you just put your face on Dan Martell's thumbnail, and I'm like, well, I can change anything about this thumbnail. I can change the color of the Ferrari seats. I can change the steering wheel. I can put a drink in my hand. I can change the text, and so I use it as like a base. This is just it's a base to give me a really cool concept that then I can take over to Photoshop and I can alter however I want to. That's how I've been using it. And it's, for people who are brand new on YouTube, I would say who are considering spending $20 a thumbnail for a designer. If you want 3 thumbnails to A/B test, is going to cost you $60. Well, this is like $80 a month, and you can do like 300 thumbnails. So anyway, again, like I didn't intend for it to be a plug, but it's such a cool tool that I'm using all the time now that I want to talk about it. So
No, I get it. And I mean, for anybody watching, I just want to mention this about affiliate marketing and sales. A lot of people get the ick from it, but I don't think we need to, because like literally what Scott said is how I operate. There are lots of people buying lots of stuff. And when you have someone that comes from a place of authenticity and says, hey, like, I like this tool, I'm using this tool, I don't see how that's such a bad thing, especially when you don't pay anything more. So, you can make a lot of incredible money with affiliate marketing and YouTube. And it looks like it. I love the functionality that probably came out about 9 months ago, where you upload your own photos, and then it learns you, and
Yeah.
it pops you into the scene. And like I was doing, like I'm a Sith Lord, and I'm in the forest with these trees, and
Yeah, yeah. Again, getting smarter and smarter, and affiliate marketing. I teach our audience that. I teach our clients that anyway. So I'm like, I can't ever be afraid to be like, hey, this is something that I enjoy. Go check it out. And here's my affiliate link, because it's a business model. That's how we roll. I think that the big thing is just authenticity and honesty with it. It's like I don't promote anything that I'm like, I don't I don't care about, just because I've turned down probably 100 brand deals on this channel because I'm just like, yeah, I'm not going to use it. I don't use it.
me too. And it's sometimes I give myself I spin like, damn, that was a lot of money, but like it just doesn't feel good to me. And
Yeah.
I think the word I was really looking for was integrity.
Yes.
Authenticity is one thing, but to come from a place of integrity, and when you really believe in something and it can help people, it's not going to be right for everybody, but maybe that's okay. Like, again, I feel like the internet and all the things in America today and across the world is so polarizing. Maybe we can just be okay with differences of opinion. But
Yeah.
with that tool, can you just prompt it like, this is what I want, put
Yep.
me in it, and boom?
Yeah. So you can prompt original thumbnails. You can just face swap. So you can take anybody on YouTube and just change out your face, put your face over their face. I found the Recreate tool is the easiest to use, and it's not just face swapping. It actually generates something new that's like what you had before, but it's not just changing out the face. So it gives you
Mm,
something new. It does it really high quality, and yeah, it's awesome. It's just really cool.
perfect.
Okay, so let's read what YouTube has to say about this monetization change. So they responded to the Dexerto's post. Their post was, YouTube is cracking down on unoriginal content with a major monetization change starting July 15th. Channels that did not meaningfully transform clips risk losing monetization. That includes reaction channels, compilation pages, and more. And then Team YouTube responds by saying, not exactly. To clarify, this is a minor update to our long-standing YPP policies to help us better identify when content is mass-produced or repetitive. This type of content has already been ineligible for monetization for years, and as content viewers often consider spam. So what they're doing is just making so it sounds like what they're doing is just making some simple updates, but I do think that it's going to open the gate. It's kind of broadening. You know how YouTube's always kind of like, they write in very broad strokes, very broad terms that could be
Mhm.
interpreted a million different ways. That's the legal way to cover their butts and be able to say, we're going to just, one broad stroke, we're going to take out all of this type of content, and you violate the YPP if you, our TOC if you, maybe you do, maybe you don't, but we've written it in a broad enough way that we're covering our butts. So, any thoughts from that statement?
Again, I think the thing to really latch on here is they mention in their tweet mass produced. And if you're uploading 1,000 videos a day, brother, that game ended years ago, man. And I'm sure for some people it's working, but it's only a matter of time.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, you ever watch Cops? They
love
always
cops.
go to jail, man. So I think, yes, like, oh, it's scary and whatnot. But the thing is the more you buy into that, the more nerve wracking it gets. And I was thinking about this as you were sharing, Scott, and we were kind of ranting about like the struggle that a lot of people face. Like this guy or this individual who's making this post on X, when you kind of decide something, your mind starts finding evidence to back that up. And the more you believe in that thing, the more your mind continues to find evidence. It's called cognitive bias.
Yep.
And it's going to bring you down this rabbit hole where the sky is falling, everything is black. And at the end of the day, this has been in place on YouTube forever. And they're like, there's a reason why, they mention original content. And there's a reason why a lot of channels get dinged for, what's the term? Reused content. Did I say that?
Reused, yep. And repetition.
Reused content. I just think
Yeah.
we need to take things with a grain of salt. And if you're not adding much originality, it's only a matter of time. And I would encourage you to do that. I think that's my take. But if you were using clips from other YouTubers or whatnot, and you're truly transforming the content and creating something completely new, I think that's awesome because it adds so much richness to the end product. Like I've seen videos based on Star Wars. It's like Star Wars is so unoriginal. It's like literally 50 movies and 50 different scenes from different movies. And that's what Star Wars was based on. It was like the space kind of saga. And it's literally like all these scenes and they're exactly the same. And that is such a great example of transformative material. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
I don't disagree with you. I mean, I definitely can see that there could be some like loose interpretations and there might be some collateral damage like there has been in the past. But I think for the most part, they're just trying to make YouTube, the ecosystem better and more interesting and entertaining and valuable for the people who are coming without being hit with this spam type of content 24/7. And and hopefully it will clear out some of that AI slop stuff as well that is intended just to grab a whole bunch of views for easy, simple, easy button monetization. Okay, so let's play a little game, safe or not, from the July 15th monetization change. Brian, I'm just going to throw some categories at you. You're going to say safe or not safe.
Great. I'm the judge and jury.
That's right. Here we go. Your interpretation, safe or not. All right. So first is obviously going to be faceless YouTube channels, safe or not.
Safe.
Faceless. Now let's get a little bit more, add a little more clarity. Faceless YouTube channels that are 100% artificial intelligence video clips.
I think that the thing for me that I'm struggling with is that nobody knows, Scott, and these questions are really they're vague. And what one person makes that's faceless and what another person makes are two totally different things. And I know there will be plenty of faceless channels that create incredible works of art, and they're 100% AI voice, AI music, AI video, and they're gonna crush it. And there will be a sea of channels that get absolutely crushed because they're like they have no thoughts or ideas and they're just like hammering that button, and that's what's in trouble for me. So I'll play the game, but man, it's just I think it's tricky because it really is very gray and it's on a case by case basis.
It's good. That's a good response. I mean, again, it's just I think that people will recognize your expertise and then be able to kind of like, the point that I'm trying to hammer home is like, there are going to be blatantly obvious things that need to be removed. We know what those are. And,
Sure.
and I think that what we're doing with the game is providing maybe a little comfort and security to the people who are worried. And so I think that's, and then painting like a picture of what are the extremes of the line, where is the line? So the next question, now that I said that, I'm gonna make it a little bit harder. GIFs in your everyday videos. It's less than 3 seconds, man. Like, are the GIFs that are under 3 seconds going to be safe or not safe?
Oh, I hate your question, Scott. I don't know. I don't know. Like these are the dumbest questions. I love you. I love you. You're a great dude, but like it's just if I give you the same paints and the same easel that Picasso used, no problem, right?
Yeah.
You can just like paint a masterpiece, right?
I'm just gonna throw paint at it and we'll call it art. That's how it works, right?
Pollock. I think Pollock was the one that threw the paint.
What's funny too, GIFs are one of the ones that come up all the time, right? We manage content for so many different clients. We put GIFs in their content. Some of them are always like, am I going to get dinged? Is YouTube going to demonetize this? And I'm like, I don't know. This is at
Well,
your own risk.
let's do this. What's your opinion, Scott? I really want to know. Like I'm not in that space where I see
Yeah.
that as much as you do. So, what are
Yeah.
your thoughts on gifts?
I think gifts are going to be safe. I think that uh, there could be a day, and this is what I tell every one of our clients, everybody that I talk to. There could be a day where YouTube comes back and says, "You're using a gift from The Office. The Office is gonna, whoever 20, what is it, ABC, NBC is going to collect revenue from this one GIF." I think that that's very difficult to police and monitor, and I don't think that. We, it's a very hard question. I don't know. Safe for
You
now.
know,
We're gonna say safe for
here's
now.
the thing. As you're sharing that, I'm like, damn, he just kind of shared the same thing that I did. Because like nobody really knows, and it's like, but I think the thing to lean on is the more unique and original your content is, the more sustainable it's going to be for the long term. And if something happens, God forbid, you'll be okay. Because for all the times that YouTube screws up, they're really good about cleaning up their mess. I think they have someone like aisle 14, clean up on aisle 14,
Yeah.
YouTuber down. And they did that for me. And a few of the guys at YouTube grabbed me at a conference and say, hey, we messed up and whatnot. It's an interesting conversation. It's one that we need to have, but I think it's great.
It is gray. It is gray. I think the thing that just kind of rounding this off, and then we can kind of end this segment. I feel like the thing that everybody just needs to pay attention to is asking themselves a question: am I operating with integrity? Am I doing what I love, what I'm passionate about, and am I giving value in an original way? And if you can definitively say, like, these three things, I check these three boxes, you're for the most part going to be safe. Now, obviously,
Yeah.
things happen to channels all the time. My advice is, if you ever get demonetized, go over to X and send a message to at Team YouTube. That's the fastest way that they respond to things. And
Yeah.
it's typically within 15 minutes that you'll get a response from somebody, and they'll usually be like, hey, we're looking into it right now. So hit them up at Team YouTube if you ever have any issues that way. Brian, thank you so much for joining me. This has been very fun. I can't wait to bring you back. We'll have some next time we get a spicy topic that is convoluted and difficult to answer question. I will be sure to bring you back because it's been entertaining for me.
I'm glad you had fun. It was fun to chat about all the things that are happening. And like, here's the thing, man, YouTube is amazing. I just want to encourage anybody out there to dive in and don't be too nervous. Be aware, like be educated, keep watching Scott. He'll keep you updated, but jump in. The water's okay.
And also follow Brian G. Johnson on his channel, Brian G. Johnson. Is there any other place you want him to connect with you?
That's a good place to start for sure. BrianGJohnson.tv is the website.
Nice. Awesome. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. And for the rest of you guys, check out this video right here and this video right here. Catch you on the next one. Bye.